for whatever reason, I knew I was in trouble, and I guess, and I said, "Forgive me, Jesus, forgive me, Jesus." And so then I go to lean back, and as I lean back, I am just instantly, I'm outside. I'm to my right here. My body falls back into the golf cart, and I'm sitting. You have to excuse me. I guess it's still a little emotional, but I just remember, that I was in a lot of stress and dizzy, didn't feel good, nauseous, just really bad. And then just in the split second, man, I was outside, and I see my body, and my body is still leaning back. As my body leans completely back in the back, it's like this white light just comes out, because I could see everybody and everything around me for that. This all just happened in just a couple seconds. So it was just this bright light, and it just surrounded me, and it was almost like it was thick. It was just, you could feel it. It was like a fog, but it was so brilliant white. And it was almost like just laying in a jacuzzi. It was very comforting, and it was just amazing peace and love that I have ever felt. And it was kind of like I was almost swept or like moved off and through it. And then there was like this wall, which I call a veil. It was just like the light was so thick, and I couldn't see through it. But there was people over there, and I could see movement. Like people were there. It was just some colors, but I could feel their presence. It's hard to explain, but I just knew there were people there, and I knew they were there for me. I knew that they loved me. And I didn't hear any voices as far as like a sound or audible voices, but it was the best way I can describe is it was somebody's like somebody else's thoughts were put into my head. And I was then told, or another download of that, none of that matters, that the only thing in this life that matters is what we do for the kingdom of God.
Wow. And
then I was just kind of like, yeah. And then I was given what I call a life review. It was just, it was basically just the amount of time I've been here, and of that time, how much of it was spent for the kingdom of God. And I just remember thinking, what a waste. And I knew at this point, I just knew that my time on earth was gone, was over. I didn't look at it as I was dead necessarily, but I knew what that meant. But I just knew my time on earth was over, and it was just like that was okay. And there were just things I guess you just say you just kind of knew, because it was like it just dawned on me, that like when in the video I talked about that I knew the Bible was real. It was like I just knew it was real. It's like I just kind of like I just remembered or whatever. Whereas in life, and I believed in God, I believed in Jesus. That's what I would have told you, and I did believe in him, but I guess there was some doubt there, because in this life, this reality that we feel right now is nothing. It's very dull compared to what you feel wherever I was. It was it's just a whole other world. But
yeah.
Then I got like I don't know if I'm missing anything there or not. Got kind of sidetracked, but
oh, you're fine.
Then it was kind of like like the veil. It just kind of, it's almost like it stretched in both directions and up and down or whatever, as far as I could see. And then it was just another kind of like moving motion, and I came back to, and I was sitting in there in a chair, and the paramedics came in, and then I told them, I said, I'm getting dizzy again. And then that was it. I was back in that same place, but this time it was different. It was just like I was still in that thick white light, and that awesome feeling. And there was someone standing in front of me, maybe about 8 or 10 foot in front of me. And it was just, just a silhouette of a person.
And this was your second experience, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's it. That's incredible.
Yeah. And so I come to, that was only just lasted a couple of maybe 5 seconds. Is what it felt like to me. I don't know any timelines really.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I come to, and they had those breathing or rescue breathers or whatever on my mouth, and one paramedic was on me doing CPR, and I came to it, and I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And by this time, I think we had another crew of paramedics were in, and one of them told me, he said, "You just flatlined and you went into cardiac arrest." And I turned to him and I said, "So you mean I really died?" And he kind of stopped what he was doing and looked at me and said, "Why? Did you see a white light or something?" Mm-hmm. It's pure joy. It's like, I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going, but I want to, it'd be easy to say, I want to go back there right now, but I want to tell as many people as I can, that God is real. Jesus is real, man. Listen, I called myself a Christian. There's a lot of people out there that were just like I was, running around, calling yourself a Christian because your grandma used to pray for you or something, but you're not living that way. And I promise you, all the pleasures and treasures that this world has, if you took them all and combined them all together, and you had them, that would pale in comparison to just being in the presence of God. Whatever that was, wherever that was I was at, I know that's nothing compared to what a lot of people experience in their near-death and testimonies, where they just, they go on into heaven, or they see people and actually see Jesus, or trees and mountains and stuff. But I mean, if that was as good as it got with what I experienced, then that's good enough. That's awesome.